Yes.
Debt servicing, Haji, at 1.5 trillion shillings of the total 4.8. Of course, we are going to have to borrow and hugely from the domestic market. But it may be argued that this was not a problem of this administration alone, that it has to carry this burden for the entirety of its period. We have to borrow 1.1 trillion, mostly from the domestic market, meaning that businesses, local businesses cannot access credit. As a businessman, what does that mean?
Let me ask you one question. What exactly are we borrowing? Borrowing is not a problem. Even you as a businessman, you can borrow money to invest and it gives you more money and you pay back the debt and you actually have a surplus and you're making profit and you're in business. But the problem is that when the money is being borrowed, it's being misused, as my partner is mentioning, that the money is being used to finance travel, the money is being used to finance their own personal interest, but not to finance the startups, to finance, training programs, skills development, all these kind of things that actually improve our income as a country. So to be honest, it's all about the priorities. It can look very nice on the spreadsheet. It can look very nice that, the intention is great and everything. But at the end of the day, even if you look at the happiness index between here and our countries that are neighboring, who are doing far much less in terms of development, but the people are happy because they have food on the table, the kids go to school, the basics are covered. Now we are in a situation where you even feel like telling the government, take my salary, I take my tax. You understand? Because it's becoming a burden. It's becoming a burden. And this is not my only sentiment. Talk to everyone on the ground that everybody is paying, and not only for taxes. We have other, packaged salary reduction mechanisms, like shisha. Then we have, we have all these other, housing levies and all these things. So to be honest, we are being burdened, and we don't see and we don't feel the impact. So what I keep asking myself when I visit a country that is doing very well with the less population, and we have 60 million here, we have 1 million. How come, if you look at two armies, an army with 60 million and an army with 1 million, how come these 1 million are doing so much better than an army with 60 million? There's a big question mark when it comes to software issues of this country, brother. Right. All our budgets, look at how much people are spending to host guests at State House. Look at how much money is being used on travel. Look at the extravagance. Per diems, people are misusing. Like, to be honest, when you look at the public service, how they're living, they're the people who are, right now it's very lucrative to be in the government than to be in the private sector or to work as a business or be employed in the non-governmental sector. So to be honest, this is a very, very tight situation where people are in critical situation. Trust me, when I listen to my constituents, they just want jobs, they just want food, they just want healthcare. Simple, basic things. How is this budget?
Balance. It's a very delicate balance. And as a budget researcher, there's always the pressure to boost sectors that could create employment, like manufacturing and industries. But it would appear, despite a bigger budget on our end, most of it goes to consumption. Do you think that that could change in any way anytime soon? Because this government, yes, it's consumption because they have to pay debt. It's consumption because they're putting money towards teachers. We're just using and recurrent expenditure, very little in development, very little relief to those who could probably begin manufacturing and industries. Do you think that's where the problem